Do you know the answer? Hello, trivia lovers! Today's quiz is packed with fun questions and fascinating facts. A little challenge for your curious mind. You'll get 20 questions, plus one extra challenge at the end. Write your answer to the bonus question in the comments, and tell us how many you got right in total. Thank you to everyone who liked this video and subscribed to the channel. Your support means the world. Alright then, let's begin! What do you call a bicycle designed for two riders? The correct answer is tandem bicycle. The first tandem bicycles appeared in the late 19th century and were called sociables because the riders sat side by side, chatting as they rode. Later, the design changed to the inline version we know today, loved by couples and racing teams. Interestingly, a perfectly synchronized tandem can go up to 50% faster than a regular bike. Which mythical creature's name means goat sucker in Spanish? And the correct answer is chupacabra. The first reports of the goat sucker came from Puerto Rico in 1995. Villagers claimed the creature drained blood from livestock, leaving small puncture marks like a vampire. Legend says it had glowing red eyes and spines running down its back. Since then, sightings have been reported across Latin America and even in the United States, though scientists believe most cases were actually sick coyotes. Which of the following is classified as a stone fruit? The correct answer is apricot. Stone fruits get their name from the single large stone or pit inside, a hard shell protecting the seed. Apricots are among the oldest cultivated fruits, grown for over 4,000 years. Ancient Persians and Egyptians valued them so highly that dried apricots were found even in the tombs of pharaohs. Which textile is made from the yarn of the Angora goat? Let's see the correct answer. Mohair. Mohair is one of the oldest and most luxurious fibers in the world. Soft, shiny, and incredibly durable. It comes from the Angora goat, first bred in the region of Angora, Turkey. That's where the name Angora comes from. For centuries, this silky fiber was so valuable that exporting Angora goats was forbidden by the Ottoman Empire. Only in the 19th century did a few goats finally reach Europe and South Africa. Which Japanese princess left the royal family in 2021 to marry a commoner? The correct answer is Princess Mako. Princess Mako, niece of Emperor Naruhito, gave up her royal title in 2021 to marry her university sweetheart Kei Komuro, a rare example of love over royal duty. The decision sparked major public debate in Japan, because when a princess marries a commoner, she automatically loses her royal status. Mako even refused the traditional $1 million payment given to royal brides, choosing love instead of privilege. Today, the couple live quietly in New York, far from palace life. What is the legendary lost city of gold called? Here's the correct answer, El Dorado. El Dorado means the Gilded One. At first, it didn't describe a city at all, but a legendary tribal chief who covered his body in gold dust and dove into a sacred lake as an offering to the gods. Later, Spanish explorers turned the story into a myth about a lost city of gold, a dream that sent countless expeditions deep into the jungles of South America, none of which ever found it. What do we call a period of 2 weeks? The correct answer is fortnight. The word fortnight comes from Old English and literally means 14 nights. It's a British way of saying 2 weeks. The word is still used in the UK today. For example, people might say, "I'll see you in a fortnight," but in the US, it sounds a bit old-fashioned. Who created the character Rocky Balboa? The correct answer is Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone not only played Rocky Balboa, he actually wrote the entire script himself in just 3 days. Hollywood wanted other actors for the role, but Stallone refused to sell the story unless he could play Rocky. That decision made him a star. In Morse code, which letter is represented by 3 short dots? And the correct answer is S. In Morse code, the letter S is 3 short dots, and together with O, 3 dashes, it forms the famous distress signal SOS. Many believe it means save our souls, but that's just a myth. It was chosen in 1906 simply because it's easy to recognize. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. The signal became legendary after the Titanic sent out repeated SOS calls in 1912, though sadly, few ships were close enough to respond in time. In which building does the fictional character Quasimodo live? The correct answer is Notre Dame Cathedral. Quasimodo, the bell ringer from Victor Hugo's novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame, lives in the towers of the real cathedral in Paris. The book was so powerful that it actually saved the building. After its release in 1831, people were inspired to restore the neglected cathedral, which had been damaged and forgotten for years. Thanks to the story, Notre Dame became a symbol of Paris again. What color flag is raised to signal surrender? Let's see the correct answer. White. The white flag as a symbol of surrender dates back to ancient China and Rome, where soldiers waved white cloths to show they were unarmed and wished to talk. Later, during the 17th century, it became officially recognized under the rules of war in Europe. Today, it's still one of the few symbols understood everywhere. No words needed, just a white flag and peace. How many chromosomes do humans have in total? The correct answer is 46. Every human cell normally contains 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs that carry all of our genetic information. Half come from your mother and half from your father, forming a unique DNA code that makes you who you are. For years, scientists believed humans had 48 chromosomes, simply because microscopes back then weren't powerful enough to see them clearly. Only in 1956 did researchers finally count them correctly, discovering the true number, 46. What game involves stacking wooden blocks and removing them one by one? Here's the correct answer, Jenga. The name Jenga comes from the Swahili word kujenga, which means to build. The game was invented by Leslie Scott, a British woman who grew up in Africa and used her family's wooden blocks to create the first version. When she later turned it into a real game, she kept the Swahili name as a tribute to her childhood. Today, Jenga is played in more than 100 countries and has become a true test of patience and steady hands. How many animals are in the Chinese zodiac? The correct answer is 12. The Chinese zodiac has 12 animals, each representing a year in a repeating cycle. According to an ancient legend, the Jade Emperor held a great race across a river to decide the order of the animals. The clever rat secretly rode on the back of the strong ox and jumped ahead at the finish line. That's why the rat is first in the zodiac. Each animal is said to bring its own kind of luck, depending on the year you're born. What do you call a utensil that combines a spoon and a fork? The correct answer is spork. A spork is a clever mix of a spoon and a fork, and it's been around for over a century. The first patents appeared in the late 1800s, but the word spork only became popular in the 1950s. It became famous thanks to fast food chains like KFC and Taco Bell, which used it for serving meals on the go. Today, sporks are camping essentials and even travel with astronauts in space because one utensil does it all. What is the term for favoring relatives in job appointments? And the correct answer is nepotism. The word nepotism comes from the Latin nepos, meaning nephew. In the Middle Ages, some popes and bishops secretly gave power and wealth to their nephews, who were often their own illegitimate sons. To the public, they were just helping family, but the church later banned the practice, and that's how the word nepotism got its modern meaning, unfairly favoring relatives. What is this pot used for melting cheese or chocolate called? The correct answer is fondue pot. The fondue pot was born in the snowy mountains of Switzerland, where shepherds melted leftover cheese and mixed it with wine to survive long winters. Everyone dipped bread into the same pot. It was warm, filling, and brought people together. Later, fondue became a national Swiss dish, and even a symbol of friendship. Tradition says if you drop your bread in the pot, you have to kiss the person next to you. Who is widely known as the father of mathematics? Let's see the correct answer. Archimedes. Archimedes was one of the greatest minds of ancient Greece, a mathematician, inventor, and physicist all in one. He discovered the principle of water displacement while taking a bath. When he got into the tub, he noticed the water level rise and realized it could be used to measure volume. Overjoyed by his discovery, he ran through the streets of Syracuse shouting, "Eureka! I found it!" forgetting to get dressed first. His inventions, from war machines to water pumps, were centuries ahead of their time. Who created Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice? The correct answer is Jane Austen. Jane Austen created Elizabeth Bennet and other unforgettable heroines long before women writers were widely accepted. She published her books anonymously, using the simple phrase, "by a lady." Even her own family didn't know she was the author at first. Pride and Prejudice has never gone out of print since 1813, making it one of the most continuously published novels in history. It's said that Queen Victoria herself was a fan of Austen's works. How many labors did Hercules have to perform in Greek mythology? Here's the correct answer, 12. In Greek mythology, Hercules was a demigod, half man, half god, known for his incredible strength. But his life wasn't easy. After being driven mad by the goddess Hera, he committed a terrible crime and was ordered to perform 12 impossible labors to earn forgiveness. Each task tested his courage, from slaying the 9-headed Hydra to capturing Cerberus, the 3-headed dog guarding the underworld. When he finally completed them all, the gods granted him immortality. His story became a symbol of redemption and the power of never giving up. And now, the bonus question. Which is heavier, a ton of feathers or a ton of bricks? Did you get it right? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for playing. Hope you enjoyed this quiz and maybe learned something new today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your score in the comments. See you in the next one!